actually doing some work in the workshop, actually on the workshop today. This roof is only temporary. You can see it's spliced together and I don't want to push it to its limits. I've got an acro prop in holding it up just in case. These have started to sag. Obviously with age they're going to sag. So I'll just jack that one back up again to spread the load a little bit more onto an acro prop. Okay, that being said, this here is the front door frame. So at present I have just foamed it in, getting ready. That's going to be the best seal it's going to be. And it's foamed in that side. This bit of concrete slab here is between 12 and 10 inches thick, and then underneath this area here is a pilling which is another 400 millimeters deep and approximately 450, I think it's 450 round, and then there's another one round here. If you look back at some of my early videos you might see that I'll put them in there, but there's a lot of pillings down here, all the way down this wall and all the way down here. I got overexcited and just dug loads out. So in some places it's 700, 800 millimeters deep because of the pillings. Now this here, the rough stuff here, is approximately 4.5 inches deep, and it was possibly put in by the council. This bit here was put in by the gas board. They obviously dug a trench down there and laid in for the gas pipe, which is here. And we found that. I'll take you outside now and show you that. So here we are at the front, and that's the original garage. I'm just bringing the garage out to almost level with the split line there. And this is a ditch I am digging for the same frame that you've seen at the back of the garage. Is going to be exactly identical one going in the front here. Now they're going to be spreading load between them. There's going to be a spar between them, and that's what's going to be holding the roof up. And this is why I'm digging this deep. So these are 770 millimeters deep. That's 300 bit of feet or something like that. And I found drains, and I think I've just hit another drain down here, so I'm not digging any more deep. I'm now going to put in the under foundation gravelly wasty stuff and compact that. Then I'm going to be putting in this here, which is me cross beam. That's going across it, and then I'm putting 2 plinths in as well with steel bars in. There's a 4 drain going in. Now this garage is never sealed. It's only got 3 walls on it, and it won't be attached to the house at all. So up this wall here, where the old garden fence was, it won't be attached here at all. It'll just be a freestanding thing just in front of that drain post there. That drain, it'll be freestanding, and then I'll fill it in with foam to make it sort of airtight. So I've got to deal with this. This is going to be inside the garage. It's a gutter for the house, and that will be inside the garage, and it will always be there because I don't want the garage attached to the house at all. So in case of any danger, I've took the old garage gutter, I've turned it into a drain so I don't get any floods. So it does break a gutter, then emergency I'm going to have a drain in the floor. And I've patched into the old drain, which is the old gutter drain, so it'll be fine. I'll put a trap in that one, a water trap, so I don't get no fumes coming up. There shouldn't be anyway. This is a straight drain out into the drains in the street, so unless there's some kind of chemical attack, we should be fine. Right, the weather is perfect for ducks. I have mortared in the drain to keep it stable when I'm pouring the concrete. I'm going to put some loose sand over the top of it and spray foam that in both sides just to have some kind of cushioning above it. So basically I'm just going to run some spray foam down the side of that mortar. I'm going to zoom out of it so I can see what I'm doing. So I'll run some spray foam down the side of that mortar, and then I'll run some spray foam down the side of the pipe up to here somewhere, and then I'll do that a few times until I've got a wall, and I'll put some sand in there. I'm probably going to do it in here as well to keep the pipe, which is the gas pipe, which I was talking about, which I forgot to talk about earlier on. I've got to do something to protect the gas pipe as well, so I'm probably going to get some plastic and spray foam that over it just to give it a bit of cushioning so I don't burst it with the concrete if there's any settlement. I don't want to burst the pipe if there's any settlement neither, so I'm going to put something soft, unpacked, just over the top of the pipe, so if the concrete does go down a little bit it won't crush the pipe so easily. Okay, so I've got my first layer on. This was a bit droopy, but it's alright. I'm going to give that a full layer up to the bottom of this ring here. So you see where the seal would go in, up to about there. So there's a little bit of concrete above it. But if I ever need to get it out again in the future for any other particular reason, just break a little bit of concrete up around it, and then there'll be foaming, because literally break the foam out really easily. So that's the idea around that one. And if the pad does go down at all, it will be good there. I did forget to do something here. I should do a line across there as well and fill in behind that with a bit of softer material. I'll do that in a bit. So that'll be a line from about where my finger is all the way across up to the wall to make a little dam in soft foam up to the level of the thing, the rebar, and then in behind it I'll put some mill waste loosely packed in, or some building sand depending on what I feel, probably mill waste. And then if the pad does go down, you can compact the mill waste a little bit. It shouldn't go down a lot, but if it does go down at all, then it's got somewhere to go instead of crushing things. Alright, I am ready. It is going in. There's a little bit of water in the bottom of that, but that is all tied together, steel work, all supported. I am now going to start mixing the concrete. Well, about halfway through now. I'll put a piece of wood in here to stop any concrete blowing over into that. It hopefully will flow around the outside of it, it's more controllable. But as you can see now, it's going to be at least an inch above the steel, which I think is acceptable. So that is not too bad, if I say so myself. The main object was getting that level, and I think I've got that level enough. Morning has broken, there's a bit of building work gone on. Get ready to paint the house and put the front door on the garage. But the main thing is, oh my word, I need to get the council to come out and repair the road. The road is dry. I'm trying to get registration numbers in, but there we go. The road is dry, so we're heading out for a speed run. So on my last video, I was restricted to 73 miles an hour, and I have a feeling it was the wings. Just give me a little bit of extra drag. Theoretically, this car should be able to crack 90 miles an hour with 70mm wheels on it. So I have made a smaller wing for the front. It is solid titanium. And I've made a small diffuser for the rear, solid titanium, as the wheeler bar. And I've cut down the attack body's rear wing considerably. It's a lot more flexible, so as it gets downforce it will deflect way more than the original wing, which will reduce drag and downforce at higher speeds. Fingers crossed, but I think this wing gives it a little bit of flutter. We'll see, because it was running really nice with the original wing. If this rear wing is rubbish, which I think it is, then I will cut down the original one of the original wings to make it less wingy. That's my bash car, ready for speed runs. Just dropped a wheel. Here's the speedrun car. I have tidied the electrics up, put on the body mount loosely at the moment, still got to drill some holes in it here, and that holds the front of the body on. Got to make under trays for this, and they're going to have a diffuser in them linking up to the diffuser, which is already made by the fat body rear splitter. Also, these under trays will have little side pods in here to contain the 2 batteries. I should be running this solely on 4S, so I will get the program card out and program that to make sure it only recognises 4S batteries. And then we'll be tinkering with the timing to try and get the best out of this motor and the best speed out of this, until I get round to making some gears, and then I'll gear it. The rear springs uprated, severely stiff, but very bouncy. They will leave the floor. The front springs slightly upgraded, not bouncy at all. I haven't upgraded the oils yet. I have got some new dampers I've made, and I'm going to put some new dampers in these rear shock absorbers. They've got a tighter clearance to the outer body, so it lets less oil pass, and they've got no oil weight holes drilled into them at the moment. But I'm going to be putting a flap on them. I'm probably be putting 4 holes into them and covering 2 holes up for the rebound. So the bounce will allow the fluid to go past as quick as it can, and then the rebound will have half the amount of oil being able to pass back the other way, which will hopefully stop the bounce up, because when you can hear the double tap, it leaves the actual rear wheels leave the floor. The fronts don't. The fronts are perfect. Just 1 tap. Yeah. Rear. Did it. Front. Done. It's on. It's on the floor. So the springs are too springy. Anyway, I'm going to go and test my titanium wings. Weather permitting today, I don't know how good the weather's going to be. My hands are absolutely aching from doing the concreting and lifting stuff around, so I'm going to give my poor dandies a rest today, and I've cut this one on the knuckle. Very stupidly, but I cut the knuckle, so pain and pain on top. So you've seen the state of affairs with the 2 cars, and I don't know whether I'm putting the concrete into this video or not, doubt it, but I've done some concreting and I'm in agony. The other thing is the camber cannot be set straight because it instantly kicks the drive shaft out and bends it, or snaps it depending on which drive shaft you got in there. So I've got 2 drive shafts, CVDs, taken to pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lob them in half, cut them in half, and I've got some 4mm silver steel. I'm going to rejoin them back together around about 2mm longer than what they are, so I can run the appropriate amount of camber on the front. The rear isn't affected. You can run the CVDs or dog bones and it's fine, but the front, as soon as you get the camber out and the tracking where you want it, these drive shafts just pop straight out. The drive shaft isn't long enough, and what happens is the dog bone bit at the end gets too far to the end. You put the power down, it slips out of the CVD, and all hell breaks loose and the drive shaft ends up being bent. The car's currently got 2 slightly bent drive shafts in it. I am going to modify these 2, put these into the car, and then when I take the 2 bent drive shafts out, I'll make 2 slightly different couplers which are a little bit less drilled, so I can cut those drive shafts down considerably and then glue them in, Loctite them in with some high strength Loctite. I've had a technical fault, probably my fault, and at that speed, while I was warming things up before I was going to start doing speed runs, Yep, it did 93 miles an hour. I managed to hit the curb. It spewed parts everywhere. This new wing, well, the attack wing is not very good. It's not very stable. It flickers like this and causes a lot of haywire. So I've turned the gyro down to 23%. Now I impacted the curb obviously on this side at full whack. It has obliterated that wheel, smashed it to pieces. So I'm going to have to make some new ones. It didn't last very long, did it? And that ain't too bad. I've lost arms. Bent that drive shaft. The new drive shaft handled it. Still in one piece, still straight. Lost an arm, can't find it. Got broken bushes in the rear. The GPS came out amazingly. And I've bent this servo saver pretty badly. But everything else seems intact, to be fair, so just took one whole side of the car out. And usually when I rip the body off, it snapped the little 3D printed part. All in all, not bad for 93 miles an hour. On top of a complete write-off, the speedrun car, it's fouling the bodywork here, so I can't run this today, just test it. Well, it is a test, I got to test it. I did run it a little bit, but it's rubbing the body, so that's no good. So I'm going to have to pack up for the day, unfortunately. But we had an hour to get the runs in, because the clouds are coming in and it's supposed to rain in around about half hour, 40 minutes, and we thought, well, the sun was out a minute ago, but no, the clouds are building now and it probably is going to start raining in around about an hour by the looks of it. So I've got me crash run in, getting set up, warming the motor up, warming the car up, getting all the bearings warm. Then I was going to stick another battery in it and then give it some proper runs, but you know what it's like. You want full throttle, so I've got full throttle and paid the price. So hopefully it's gone off enough to stand on now. Yep, I'm standing on it for the first time. There's some rough bits here. I'm not too fussed about them. It's going to get thin set all over it, or a screed, whatever you call it. And the one's breaking off. So you can see the taper there now. Any water will flow this way into the drain. This bit had to be level, and that is level enough. Oh, the sun's come out, amazing. And I shaped the drain in. Keep the prettiest of jobs. I've got some splash water and whatever on it from the rain we had, but that is acceptable for me. For the time being, until it gets thin set over it. And I'm going to get someone in to do that so it looks better. That'll do for the time being. I can now put the new front door frame in, and I'll be saying goodbye to the old 60-year-old garage, whatever it was. It had been patched many times. And paint the render, which is looking terrible. Absolutely terrible. But everything is getting closer. I'm very happy.